Today, the moon continues in Scorpio. We now have the sun in Scorpio as well. The sun went into or goes into, depending on when you're watching this, into Scorpio just a little bit before 9 p.m. Wednesday, Pacific time. So we've got on Thursday that the Scorpio sun, but also the Scorpio moon moving past Mercury and Mars in Scorpio, activating a grand trine in water. The sun at the very beginning of Scorpio, also in a yod to the outer planets, or specifically Neptune and Uranus. So lots going on today, lots to talk about, lots of water energy. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe for Thursday, October 23rd. So, lots of water energy. We have 4 planets in Scorpio: Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Mars. Scorpio is the sign of depth, it is the sign of power. Where is the power? Who has the power? These kinds of questions, and asking ourselves, where is our own place of power? How can we tap into that empowerment, that sense of finding our power and standing in our power and gaining a deeper understanding of what that is and what it means for each of us? We also, of course, are dealing with themes of power and how it's being used in the outer world, maybe even in the inner world, depending, right, on the story. But really, an opportunity here for transforming something. Scorpio is also the sign of depth, of mystery, of transformation. So, themes of healing things at deeper levels if we are willing to do the shadow work. So, looking at what perhaps we haven't wanted to look at, or where we need to reclaim our power, that might be asking us to acknowledge something, be honest with ourselves, tap into a deeper truth. Those kinds of themes may be up. And with the moon, the moon in throughout the morning is making that transit across Mars and Mercury in Scorpio. And that it will take place over the course of several hours as the moon approaches, passes first Mars and then Mercury. Mars at 21 degrees Scorpio, Mercury at 23 degrees Scorpio. So, really, bringing in the lunar energy of the moon, which activates feelings. So we might have some uncomfortable feelings. May have some emotional reactions or outbursts with that Mars energy, things that fly out of our mouths, come out that maybe if we were being a little more subdued, we may not have to confront quite as much. So things flying out of our mouths, things that we do or say that could be maybe not our best our best choice, shall I say. And then Mercury, of course, is the energy of communication. And so again, words and what we say and how energy is moving. Mars impulsively, compulsively, without thought. Now, it can also be energy of courage. So, the energy of stepping into our truth, of stepping into what we need to say or do or take a stand for something that we feel deeply that speaks to a deeper truth. So, those kinds of themes are up. The need to be honest with ourselves kind of underlying everything as we tap into, want to tap into the higher possibilities for how this energy could be being expressed, or what we are learning through it is the other side. Because even if we're not acting in our highest best choice, our most empowered place, we certainly have the opportunity to use what is coming up in our own process of transformation, to learn more about ourselves, to acknowledge truths that maybe we couldn't see or didn't want to look at previously. So lots to think about around that. And then that Mars and Mercury and Moon all activating a grand trine with Neptune and Saturn in late Pisces, Neptune now in Pisces, and Uranus in, let's see, no, not Uranus, but actually Jupiter in Cancer. So Uranus is in a trine to Pluto, and actually also creating what's called a cradle with Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, and the opposite energy of the moon as it steps into the later degrees of Scorpio. So Uranus is involved in this as well. But the grand trine is involving Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Moon, Mercury, and Mars. So only 6 planets involved in a 3-pointed triangle, which we call a grand trine, all in water signs. So we've got Jupiter in Cancer, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, Moon, Mercury, and Mars, in Scorpio. So all the water signs. So feelings, energy, themes of things that are moving below the surface, things that are intangible, things we feel, energies we feel. So again, really just dealing with this energy of what is moving, how we are listening to our own deeper truth and trusting our own inner knowing. So have that discernment to really ask yourself, check in with yourself. Is this in my best interest? Am I listening to wisdom? Am I trusting my intuitive sense, my intuitive knowing about what is right? Or am I being manipulated? Am I being, pushed into something that because I'm have loosey goosey boundaries, right? So just really checking in with yourself about what you need, what's important for you, what is the best way to take care of yourself, having that need to connect with boundaries, to set appropriate boundaries. And to set appropriate boundaries, you have to take that extra moment to go, wait a minute, is that good for me? Is that something I want? Is that healthy for me? So that you can set those boundaries and have that discernment, make that judgment about what is where you need to draw that boundary. So that is a grand trine. We have also, as I mentioned, the sun in a yod. So in this case, we are looking at Uranus and Neptune. Uranus at 0 degrees Gemini, Neptune at now 29 degrees, 57 minutes Pisces in a sextile, pointing both in a yod to the sun at 0 degrees Scorpio, or heading from 29 degrees Libra into 0 degrees Scorpio. In other words, there's some pressure here. There's something that is an invitation to make an appropriate decision, to move something in the right direction. And again, be really, really careful about listening to what is the deeper truth. Not accepting what seems true or feels true on the surface, but checking in with yourself, taking that pause, that ability to take space, to step away from a situation and ask yourself, what is right and true for me? Where do I need to have a boundary? Where do I need to speak up or find my courage? That speaks to a deeper truth and a deeper process of healing, because we want to step into that potential for healing and not continue to avoid whatever it is that we have in the past not wanted to acknowledge or admit or look at. So really a potential for healing with this energy, but we have to be careful about healthy boundaries, and thinking about our own needs, taking deeper care of ourselves, and honoring those needs, and really being clear that we are checking in with our own truth, our own needs, and what is true and right for us. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can book a reading with me at astrologyheals.com. More at my member site, transformationalastrology.com. Thanks for being here and subscribing. I so appreciate your support and look forward to being back again. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. Self-care is not always easy, right? Sometimes it takes that deeper work, but it's worth it. All right. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time.